Here at Red Lobster. Have not been here in a while. This shrimp tastes like a greasy slop. So here it is in my mushroom. Well, one of them. But the mushrooms are okay. I'll leave my full review on the channel.
This is 5 Minutes with Mike. Our news, our voice, our issues. Believe that. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minutes with Mike. I'm your host, Michael Beckford. A little bit under the weather, but hey, we gotta get through this. This has gotta power through this. Where they do that? Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. But yeah, let's do this. So recently guys, you just saw the video on here. And you know, I recently visited this particular Red Lobster here in the city of Houston, kind of outskirts of Houston, off of Highway 6, near the West Oaks Mall. Yeah, so I mentioned that because I don't want to give a specific, address or location, so nobody's like, oh, you're doxing at Red Lobster, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a local Red Lobster outside of the city of Houston that I recently went to, and honestly, I don't hardly go to Red Lobster. I haven't been to Red Lobster in a long time since that time. Probably at least over a year or so since I recently went a couple of weeks. And I was just staunchly reminded of why I don't eat at Red Lobster anymore. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. Alright guys, so let's preface this thing. Number one, I am not a food reviewer. I am not a, online food critic. That's not what I do. If anybody has been paying attention to any of my content, if you go to the history of my content, that's not what I do. But guess what? I'm a person that does enjoy food. Maybe I should do some critiques of it at some point, trying to get some bread off of that too. But anyway, I just am here. My show, 5 Minutes of Mike, is all about dealing with, issues in the community, issues to be addressed, things of that nature. And here's one, staunch issue to be addressed. First and foremost, Red Lobster has had a new CEO. It's a blackface, dude that's actually African born, I believe, and young dude, and he's been challenged with turning around a failing restaurant. Okay, that's been his challenge. And honestly, since he's taken the helm of the restaurant, according to data, he's actually been succeeding in many ways. Now, obviously, and especially based upon my experience, that may not be able to speak the same for all of his restaurants. So I mention that because obviously, Red Lobster is a national brand, right? So you may have some local restaurants that may not be up to par. And then there should be some restaurants, because I had a conversation with my dad over the phone, told him about my experience. He said he loved the Red Lobster in Houston, in Orlando, specific off International Drive in Orlando, Florida, and one that was in Daytona. He loved them. Now, mind you, it's Florida, it's right next to the water, but still, there's no excuse. I mean, we live in a country where you can get anything within a day, you know what I'm saying? So, to get fresh food, it's not that shouldn't be an issue. I don't care if you're in Houston, Texas. I don't care if you're in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. If you to get fresh seafood, you should be able to get fresh seafood or whatever it is. So I wanted to preface that to say this. I am rooting for Red Lobster as a brand, especially under the helm of this black CEO. Okay, I'm rooting for them to turn around and do good. And I believe that Red Lobster is actually born out of the state of Florida, actually. His founding was out of Florida. So I'm rooting for them to be well. And I can remember many moons ago, growing up as a kid, that Red Lobster actually did taste pretty decent. But in this last encounter, it was subpar at best. Okay? Subpar. So, like I said, I'm speaking from my experience at a local branch of this restaurant. and not necessarily on the national level, because the national chain level. But here's what my experience was. I walk in, and there's nothing that aggravates me the most. Even though I used to do DoorDash before, and listen, if I gotta do it again, I'll do it again. If I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure I keep food on the table, clothes on my back, and my daughter fine, right? So it is what it is. But here's one thing that aggravates me the most, and I wrote a full-page report to a company about this. Do not ask me, am I there? I don't know if it's
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Michael Beckford's newest book, HOMEBOYS. Everybody has a homeboy, or friends call his own. The best friend you kick it with at the family barbecue. The one you trust to bring around your lady without raising a red flag. A homeboy will play video games, smoke, and chill. A homeboy is a nigga you can ride or die, and the one you sleep with on the low. HOMEBOYS, available in ebook and paperback or wherever books are sold.
We've talked about Red Lobster on Indisputable before. Customer complaint, Red Lobster CEO, young black male, does the right thing. As a matter of fact, he has a history of making it right. One of the very few.
because I'm black. I'm not a YN essentially, but I'm still a young black male. But I'm a millennial, not a Gen Z. But either way, I don't understand why when I walk into certain restaurants at times, their first question is they're asking, "Are you here to pick up? Are you here to pick up an order from DoorDash or pick up whatever?" I'm like, no, I'm here to actually sit at the restaurant and eat your food. This is not 2000 when we had COVID and nobody was able to sit down and eat. Okay. And I don't know, maybe if I had on a hoodie that day, whatever. Maybe I was being profiled, but guess what? This was a black person that asked me this. Okay? Now, I know, you know what I'm saying, black people profile people black there themselves all the time. Of course. And now, mind you, well, I guess my big plus about the restaurant, and then it goes downhill from this, most of the staff at this particular Red Lobster, at this particular shift, I should say, was black. From, the manager that greeted me coming in to the greeter himself, he was black. And, and then my waitress, she's also black as well. So staff wise, I'm happy to see that. But then, like I said, it just went down from there. Just walking into the restaurant, I smelled this smell. It felt like I walked into, a place that was stuck in the 2000's. Not just based upon the smell, for instance, but also the colors, the seating arrangement. It all just looks still dated. Like, I don't know if reconstruction or remodeling is a part of the plan for the CEO for his restaurants, but if it's not, it needs to be a part of the plan very quickly. Because these crab boils and other places like that, Crab Shack and these places, they're eating your dinner, essentially. And that's no wonder why, of course, now Red Lobster is also offering boils as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they see the play. See what they see the market trends. But even in that, Red Lobster, just aesthetically, it looks unappealing. Like, it's not a place for millennials. It's not a place for Gen Z. It's a place for Gen X and boomers. Okay? As a matter of fact, I sat next to a boomer. It was an older African-American woman who was a little aggravated too. You know what I'm saying? She kept having to send things back. But I think, some of it was she was just overboard with it. But from the sweet tea that wasn't sweet, I had to send that back and just give me some water. From the biscuits that taste like they were maybe sitting out for a while and then decided to warm it up in the microwave and then brought them out to my table. What happened to the buttery garlic flavor, fresh baked taste of those biscuits from Red Lobster that I grew up to love? It wasn't there. I could tell they was cutting corners. I can definitely tell they was cutting corners when it came down to the the seafood mushrooms that they gave me. Now, that was actually the best part of what I had. I didn't really want that hungry, so I didn't have that much to eat. But as far as the mushrooms, I can tell they put it in some kind of. They didn't make those things the mesh mushrooms themselves. They put it in some kind of conveyor oven or whatever, air fryer, professional air fryer, and just throw them out to me and want to charge triple the price of what you would find in a grocery store. They were good, but then there was like I could taste and notice the texture that something was a little bit off. And let's not talk about the shrimp. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the shrimp. Oh my gosh. The coconut shrimp was always my most favorite item from Red Lobster. Always my most favorite dish from Red Lobster. And these people found a way to mess that up too. This coconut shrimp tasted like slop, as you guys heard in that video earlier that I recorded. I mean, I was whispering because I don't want, the Red Lobster employee to see me, talking about their food. Like, oh, this stuff is crap. But it was crap. It was like, it tastes like it was, the lobster was not hand braided there. I mean, not just the lobster, I'm talking about the shrimp was not hand braided there. It tastes like it was shrimp that was already pre-cooked, and then they fried it again here at the actual local restaurants. They'd already pre-cooked, which is not an uncommon practice for restaurants, but it's a shady practice because at the end of the day, if I want to go get some pre-cooked shrimp, I might as well sit my happy black ass home, like literally, and make my own shrimp and throw it in my freaking air fryer, okay? Like literally, that's what I felt like. I felt like this was air fried food with a big name of Red Lobster, and then the individual wanting to, obviously have a bit of a tip. And so I didn't mind tipping her. I tipped her, you know what I'm saying? But I could tell that she was also at her tipping point, essentially, when I took back the sweet tea and then I took back the shrimp, And so it's bad service, bad smell, bad food. Like, literally, the food was bad. Like I said, if the best thing at freaking Red Lobster this day was the freaking mushrooms, I mean, come on, bruh. Like, literally, come on. And these dated seats, man, like, what are you guys doing? Like I said, I don't know. I don't visit Red Lobster like that. It's been over a year since I've been to Red Lobster. I'm not on that type of vibe. And based upon my most recent experience with Red Lobster, outside of maybe, me and my dad going in a month or so, maybe I go with him and maybe see if there's a different vibe than the one in Florida. But at the end of the day, why would anybody that's my generation or younger want to hang out at a Red Lobster when it feels like a convalescent home to a certain degree? I mean, I may be over exaggerating, but no, really, there was no young people really in that Red Lobster. It was mostly older folks, people that's on the nostalgia of what Red Lobster used to be, not what Red Lobster could become. And what Red Lobster needs to become is something of what this CEO is promising for it to be, and that's youth. Every restaurant, every church, every building dies without youth. Look at Sears. If the youth don't start shopping at your restaurant, don't start patronizing your business, you're going to have a slow burn. You're going to be gone, disappeared, gone, bye-bye. JCPenney's, bye-bye. They ain't quite gone yet, but ain't nobody that's Gen Z shopping at those damn JCPenney's. No, heck no. So, anyway, back to this Bad Lobster situation. They got to get their act together with all their restaurants, not just one. If you're going to remodel a restaurant, like I said, I don't even know if remodel is in their plans, but you need to get all your restaurants right. And also, you need to get some professional chefs back there, not just some people that know how to freaking warm up some food like I'm in a cafeteria at school, okay? Like, literally. But also, Red Lobster biscuits used to be the pride of biscuits everywhere. The pride. Now, dude, me and my daughter can take a box of the Red Lobster biscuit recipe and make it better than from the restaurant itself. Where do you do that at? Anyway, guys, that's my rant. Please like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think. If you had a recent Red Lobster experience, put that in the comments as well. Maybe yours are good, maybe yours are bad. I'd like to know. Thank you, guys. Have a blessed day.
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Padsplit. In a pinch and need a place to stay for cheap? Try Padsplit and get $25 credit once approved for a room near you. Locations and restrictions apply. Hit the link below and get approved for your next room. Now, do you have a vacant home that's been listed on the market forever? Make money from your home today using Padsplit. Earn passive income and make it a Padsplit home today. Link in the description below.